presenting on the Data Dictionary project. It's a project I've been working on the past 10 weeks at E3 with the help of everybody in the room. And let's just get right into it as I speak. This is my first presentation, by the way, ever. So if I stumble, please give me time.
You got it. It's the down arrow.
Okay.
On that, yeah.
Okay, and that's me. And I'm an international student from Kenya, and I'm the first E3 Alliance Fellow, and I am a data language researcher. Okay, so I'm just going to go right ahead and introduce. So I've been working on the data dictionary. So basically my work was to, as an outsider, not part of the E3, as an outsider, I came in to try and simplify all the fancy language at E3 and simplify it in a way that I and somebody else on the outside can be able to understand it. So the purpose for the project is to examine how E3 uses their language and how it's communicated to their audience. So language is a very important component in communication. And if I understand the language that you're speaking, I can be able to communicate with you effectively. And therefore, whatever we're communicating can be successful. Okay. So, and then another purpose was to help close the bridge of communications between E3 and their audience. So this is going to help, if you simplify a language, and you're going to see this in the exercise that I've prepared for you. So if you simplify a language in a way that everyone can be able to understand, I think it serves as a key component of success in whatever it is that you're researching about. And so I achieved this by just, like I said, simplifying the language. And then this will make the E3 audience, they will feel heard. It's like, if I'm able to understand your language and whatever, the fancy language that you use in E3, I can feel like, okay, you are listening to me, we are listening to each other, and we can understand each other. And then it will create a sense of relevance at E3. And because the audience, we're able to comprehend each other at E3 and outside E3, right? Hold on, okay. And then, so with that being said, with an open mind from all of you, this can be able to open a line of expansion for further research, not just stopping here with me. I think with the next fellows, whatever they're going to research about, it can be linked to whatever I have, and it can be a great thing, a big thing, very big, because it's language, it's used everywhere. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about my process. So I used 10 weeks. I was here for 10 weeks, and my resources were E3 Alliance reports, dashboards, and all the communication tools that I had. I had the professional development series. I had, Emily said 13 of them. I attended all of them. And the website was a big part of my research, and the data dot. The data dot is just basically where you have all the graphs and everything. Very fancy language, by the way, because when I came in, when I came in and Emily was like, just go to the website and familiarize yourself, in case she was like, just try and see what you can make of it. And I'm like, oh my God, these are all graphs. What am I supposed to do? But yeah, and then I tried to redefine the words in a way that I could understand them better. And I added synonyms as well, so that instead of, because there's different ways that you can communicate. So if you have more ways or more words that you can use to define this certain word, it makes just communication fabulous. And I did carry out a survey actually at the end of my last week. I did carry out a survey and it was very successful. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an example of what I did. So tell me if you need a break. Okay. So this is a word and it comes from the data dot. That is hyper disaggregated data. When I saw this word, and if you're not at E3, I don't think you can be able to. You might, but I was not able to. So I looked at it and I was like, because Casey told me, no, you just have to come up with your own interpretation. And I looked at the word and I was like, I don't have any interpretation for this but yeah, so our first word, this is just an example of what I've been doing. So we have hyper disaggregated data and we have a technical definition for it, which is straight from the dictionary, straight from Google. That is the definition. And then if you go on Google right now, you'll find it's the same. And then we have E3 way of defining the word. And so that is how E3 understands the word. And then it could be similar to the technical definition. So the idea for the next part is a suggested definition. I'm not changing the definition. I'm suggesting a definition that is a little bit simpler so that somebody in grade 5 can understand. If you bring, they might not. You know what? We have to test it to see if they can be able to understand the word. And then I did have a synonym for it, which is disaggregated student metrics. I know I still have the disaggregated down here, but listen, when I tested it, it was a little bit different because there was student in there. When I tasted hyper disaggregated data, I remember one person said, data, you're definitely talking about computers. And I was like, okay. And then they said student metrics, this is definitely about education. And I was like, so those are some of the replies that I got. So I suggested a synonym for it, which is disaggregated student metrics. Not changing, suggested. Our next example is promising practices. So this is a word or a phrase in the website. I think we've seen it. Everybody at E3, right? Right. So we have a technical definition for it, and we have E3 current definition. So, and that is the suggested. It's a little bit long, but you see, so with the promising practices, you see that it says, refers to strategies, programs, or interventions. And then for the suggested definition, it says evidence informed. Do you get that? Okay. Okay. So we have evidence informed educational strategies or interventions. So there's a little bit of difference. If I present it to you, which one are you going to choose?
Yours.
Okay, thank you. And then I have a synonym for it, which is effective strategies. And when I tested this during my survey, this is what somebody said. Effective strategies feels more like a nice blanket term. It is more of a true neutral. So, like I said, we're not changing, we're just a way to suggesting, exactly. And then we have math pathways, similar to all the other examples. So math pathways, we have a technical definition for it. We have E3 current definition for it. And then we have the suggested definition for it. And then we have a synonym for it, which is math progressions. So, so that's the exercise. So take out your notepads. No, just one. Just one, yeah. So I would like for you to define. So I'm a nursing student, by the way. I just got accepted. Yeah. And then, so I chose words that I am familiar with, because I was researching on words you're familiar with. So now you have to do it my way.
Yes.
So this is just a little bit of an exercise to help you understand what I was doing and how I did it and what you can come up with. So just anything that comes up in your head, however you can interpret it, that's what I want. Yes.
And you want us to do this without looking anything up?
Yes. No, look, no.
No cheating.
No, she's a nurse.
Also a nurse.
So she should hide her answers. Yes. Okay. So the first one is conjunctivitis. So try and define that word. Try and tell me what it means. And I'll just have like a couple of people raise their hands and tell me what their definition is. And then you have hypoglycemia. I would also want to hear your thoughts on it. Okay. Ready? Okay, let me give you time. We had said like 10 minutes or 8. Are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. With this stuff. I mean, with the best I got. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, that's long. Okay.
Why? There's some questions. Freaking over here with the long. Calling my face. I'm like trying to. That was really cool.
Okay, so a few hands if you're done. You can just shout up. Okay. Where'd you get that?
I just know that.
I work in childcare.
Just
so
know that.
we have-
Yeah, I don't know
Oh.
why. I know that pink eye is. I can't really explain what pink eye is. Or
Uh-huh.
conjunctivitis is, but I know it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, that was good.
Huh?
Contagious eye infection.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I knew that was pink eye. That's what my doctor told me this morning that I have.
I'm like, so why are you here?
Completely kidding.
Okay.
That's on tape, dude.
It's not just.
Richard.
So,
Well, fun thing, I was totally wrong. But
Uh-huh.
I did not know that conjunctivitis is pink eye, so
Uh,
thank you for making me that.
uh-huh.
I wrote infection of the face is what I first wrote, and then sinuses.
oh.
So I was like,
Okay. Is it bacterial or viral?
It's an infection. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. Exactly. So, what about the next word?
Low blood sugar.
Do you guys Google this? Oh. But see, that's good because if you are familiar with the word, with the synonym, it's easier for me to say, oh, I have a pink eye. And, you understand. If I go out there and I say I have a pink eye, or if I go out there and I say I have conjunctivitis, it's, people are gonna look at me like, okay, what are you saying? But if I say I have pink eye, people are gonna be like, oh, a pink eye, okay.
They're gonna be like, oh.
Stay back.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I get hypo and hyper confused.
Hi-
so I was
yeah.
like, it's blood sugar, but it's either high or low, and I don't know.
Okay. So you see, that was. Do you now understand, or do you relate to what I was?
Hear what you've been going through.
Yes.
10 weeks of this, folks, 10 weeks.
And then questions, feedback. Yes.
Oh, sorry. People rose their. Yeah.
Yes.
What one of our E3 terms was either like the most
Because I tested, I think, 4 words, and one of the most that was out there that people related to was the promising practices. Yes. So the promising practices was one of, yeah, that was one that was out there.
But you also looked at like 50 something words in
Yes.
total.
So in total, I have about 50 words. So I didn't test all of them, but for me personally, a word that I related to, I have to check the words. But I did the transformation, the transformation phases, the discovery phases, and the sustainability phases. Those were words that I could relate to, so they were a little bit easier for me to interpret, and I didn't need to have any resources or, I mean, I did, but I didn't need to have a technical or anything. It was easier for me to define them. So the transformation services, yeah. Ooh, okay.
I'm still in Katie's question here, but can you say more about how you did the message testing and like what your methodology was for doing that, like with the survey or whatever you did for the message?
The message testing?
Yeah.
Okay, with the survey?
Word testing,
The word testing? Okay, so I did have 4 definitions, and I had, so I had 2 words with their definitions, and then I had 4 words without definitions. And then I tested up to 8 people, because it was a short span of time. So I tested about 8 people at ACC Highland, and I would walk up to the person and say, "Hi, do you want to participate in my survey?" And they did, and I would put, what are these things called? The tiny ones. Index cards. I would, the index card with a word, I would allow them to process the word and then define it in a way, interpret it in a way they understand. And then after that, I would give them a different word, because I would have a word with its synonym. So I wouldn't give them a word and then a synonym immediately after. I would give them a completely different word, so that when they see the synonym, it can jog up their mind and say, "Oh, this one kind of looks like the other one." So yeah, that's what I did. Does that answer the question? Okay.
And you did that like 8 different, or
Yeah.
how many did you do with each person? You did all of them?
So with the 4 words, I did 4 people. With the 4 words, I did 4 people. And then with the other definitions, I did 4 people.
And with the
Yeah.
definitions, you had them assign
Yeah.
create
A
or phrase.
word. With the definitions, I had them create a word of how they would define the word, and then yeah. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where can we find this dictionary?
Uh,
No,
Because I now know what this aggregated data means.
So me being newer to E3, there's a lot of words. that
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world,
uh-huh.
And so that would be helpful even for somebody who's in E3.
Right.
Where
Right.
is it?
Yeah, I need to put it on the onboarding.
That would be good.
Casey will have the dictionary. Yes.
Okay.
So I will send it to Casey. Yes, Jeff.
Feedback.
Yes.
For your first presentation, I never would have known. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Very relatable, engaging, and you're going to be an amazing nurse.
Thank. Any more feedback? Oh, yes.
What was the part of the 10 weeks that you feel like you enjoyed the most?
The series, the development series.
Yeah.
I had a blast. I met very amazing people. Do I have time to tell you about like 2 of my favorite? Yes. So I did have the session with Tanja Horan, the one where we had the storytelling, and there was one that it was just me and Emily. We had the networking. So that was really amazing. And so the storytelling had a lot to do with what my project, because it allowed the storytelling and the networking. Because with the networking, I got tips on how to go and talk to people. And then that made it easier, because I would walk up to a person. It's awkward when you just walk up to a person and you want to ask them for something. So it made it a little bit easier. And then I did even get to connect with people and just outside whatever project with the project that I was doing. And then the storytelling was amazing because we got to tell our stories. I think it was a way of connecting with each other, and we got to know a little bit about each other, and just to kind of translate how, because we're working with data, and you can translate that into a story and be able to tell it to people, and they hear you. Right, yes.
What will you take from this fellowship moving forward into your next phase of your career?
I will take everything. I will take everything. I think the team has been really amazing, and I've learned so much, so much with the networking. I know how to talk to people now, thanks to the fellowship. I know how to walk up to a person if it's formal or informal. I know that now. So that's with the fellowship. And I also know how to create a good story so that it depends on whoever I'm speaking to. I know how to twist, or no, not twist, but to adjust the story so that they can be able to understand and relate to me. So those are the major things that I'm taking with me. Yes. Somebody had a question. Oh, yes, Cap.
What advice would you give the incoming fellows, and would you make yourself available to them as an ally or a mentor?
I would ask them to have an open mind, because when I came in, I had zero knowledge on any nonprofit. I remember I had a session with Richard as well, and he was teaching me about nonprofit, and I was like, oh, that's what they do, nonprofit. I didn't, So it's just, I would ask them, or I would tell them to have an open mind, because if you have an open mind, you're more willing to let all the information all the opportunities in, and just enjoy yourself because I enjoyed myself in the program, and I made really amazing people. So having an open mind is really important. And yes, I will be available if the nursing courses don't kill me. But yeah, yes.
So are you going to come back and visit us, or what?
I will, but yeah, I will. I will, definitely. I will be, anytime I come to Highland, I will pass by and say hi. Yes.
You knew I was going to ask, right?
Yes, I knew.
So what do you envisage yourself ever since you came to this country? I was looking at my photo, and I see the first photo I took with you at the airport. I don't mind sharing with the rest. So this is Cindy right here. You can all pass it around and see her. So looking at that photo and right now,
Yeah.
what do you think has given you more confidence to face the future?
Right.
Yeah, because when I look at that photo, I was like, no, this is
Yeah.
not the same scene.
It's, oh. You said what?
I say, what do you envisage yourself going forward?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
What progress have you made ever since you stepped into this country?
Mhm.
That was the 28th of December 2023.
Yeah.
So how can you gauge yourself? Yeah, that transition and everything. Yes.
Right. He was the first person to ever pay. I didn't, like, we hadn't met each other, but my aunt, so he's really good people. He's really close with my family, and he was the first person to pick me up from the airport. And this was me, so timid. I didn't know what I was, getting myself into. I was so shy and everything, and I didn't know because it was a very new environment for me, and coming from a place where I didn't have as many opportunities as I have now. It just, looking back, I didn't think I would be standing here right now. But now, But now I'm just like, I'm ready for more. Like, I want more. I want the next thing to open up, next thing and next thing. So it's just, I think, I don't know. I'm just ready. I'm just ready for more. I think I've learned so much. This has been my first opportunity, and I'm so grateful to E3 for even taking a chance on me without knowing what I can bring to the table. So I'm just really grateful for, because this was the first opportunity I ever got in this country, and it just shows that you guys saw my potential, and you were like, because I remember my first interview, and I was so nervous. My phone switched off, and then I was like, and I was like, please wait. I could do this. So I think looking back, I'm just so grateful, because I know that I've met really great people in here that have pushed me to become somebody that I never thought I would. And I'm not even joking about that, because I think I would wake up every morning and I'm like, okay, Emily needs me to be there by 9. Now I have to wake up and be there by 9. So it's pushed me as a person. I have grown as a person the past 10 weeks. I know it's just been 10 weeks, but days really change. I feel, my mom just calls me. She's like, oh, so you're going to speak in front of people? Really? And they listen to you? Yeah. And they're all older than you? And I'm like, yeah. And it's just been amazing. So thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, that's it for me.
Don't go anywhere. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you
so much. I remember because we do a phone screen first, and I do remember calling you, and I had done quite a few, and I could have stayed on the phone with you forever. And I would never have known that was your first interview for a position like this. And so you took it incredibly seriously. It's like, unlike some people. And even just your resume and your cover letter, it was clear that you took it as a serious opportunity, and you made sure it was correct, and you ran it by other people and got advice, and that was what set you apart. Like, it was clear that you wanted to learn, you were open-minded, like you gave that off right away. You're like, I don't know what this is, but the opportunity came up and I'm gonna take it, and that will take you so far. So I'm so happy that I got to know you.
Thank you.
I actually want to invite Casey and Annalise up real quick. Yay. So I'm gonna let them share shortly just about you and the program and things like that. And then I got a few gifts to pass out, but whichever one of you wanna go first.
Yeah. Well, I mean this, like, truly, it was such a pleasure to know you at all, and then also to be able to work with you. Like, there was never a time when I met with you that I didn't feel uplifted after. You were just, like, the work you do, the poise you bring, the thought partner, like, you were just really great, and I wish we had you for longer, honestly.
Thank you.
But yeah, I know you have such a bright future. I just really can, like, I want to see you in like 5 years and 10 years. Like, I'm like, oh, you're just going to be such a rock star. And we just really appreciate the effort here, the work you did. Every time I met with you, I was like, I felt better after you. You made me better after meeting with you. So thank you so much.
So I want to take a moment actually to also thank Christy and Emily for producing an amazing fellowship. Like, I know that there is a ton of work that goes into this, and Emily, you've been with us since 2006, so it's really shown here. She's been here for less than a year, so it feels 7 months. 7 months. Wow. Okay. All right. It really does feel like you've hit the ground running on this, because I know how much it took to bring a fellowship to life like this. So, good catch, good find. And then, Christine, of course, you have been here for basically since 2006. Actually, truly, phenomenal work you two on creating an amazing fellowship. For becoming a partner with me on these, trying to find a great fit for us, and being able to solve some of the problems with data language, communications, and like trying to find a partnership here. That's the whole point of this project, was to try to start doing exactly what you ran us through with conjunctivitis. You guy. Right, you guy. And it's been a true gift to have you be in this role. You are such an amazing human being. You showed up every single day, ready to do the work, even though it was oftentimes ambiguous. It was unclear. It was go familiarize yourself with Datadot, and you're like, but Casey, there are charts and graphs here. What am I doing? But you took on every single part of this process in a way that made the role and the work that you've produced so sharp. You are such a sharp, intelligent, driven human being that it is, I'm with Annalise, I'm so excited to see what your future looks like, and I cannot wait to be your patient as a nurse. Just to clarify. The other thing that I just want to draw out here is that you have an ability that not everybody has, and it's this natural curiosity. It's actually one of the questions I expressly asked for in this role. So I wanted somebody who was curious to learn more about whatever it is that we put in front of you, and man, you hit the ground running on that. You asked so many smart, thoughtful questions that made me a better communicator, made me a better employee of E3, that made me a better leader and mentor. I mean, truly, I cannot say this enough. You've done a really good job here. And Emily was right. You are a very first Susan Dawson Fellow, and it is going to be really hard to find somebody as good as you, because you've done such a great job.
Thank you.
So thankful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would love you just don't trip.
Don't mind me. I was gonna
Oh,
try.
Casey, we got
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, Annalise, come here. Just a little card. Wow. Okay, so thank you for being our first mentors. Again, couldn't have done that without you.
Yeah.
And then Cindy, we've got you a card and a gift card in here. We know nursing school is going to come with lots of things you're gonna need.
A lot.
A stethoscope, and I actually looked it all up. A pen light, and teal scrubs. You're gonna need to get some teal scrubs. So E3 has a gift card for you just to kind of
Thank
help
you
ease into
so
that.
much.
I'm so proud of you. And I just, lastly, before we break, feel free to.
Before you finish, can I say something?
Absolutely.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on up.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm kind of emotional because I just want to express my gratitude to ACC, of course, all of you for giving her that chance out of nowhere. Like, you know where we come from. Unless somebody knows you,
Yeah.
tribe, where you come from, you have an influence about somebody. That's when you get an opportunity to have such a thing. But you guys were amazing. You saw something in her, you gave her a chance. And me sitting there looking at her, I'm so emotional because I just pray that you guys continue. May God give you all that energy to continue seeing things that people cannot see and continue giving other people a chance also, because there's so much. And when she talks about opportunity that she found here that she won't find anywhere else, it's a real thing. It's real. So I pray that you guys just continue on behalf of ACC to give us more and more chances, because it's through ACC that she came. So you see that she's here and now she's ready to go. She just, so sometimes somebody can be there, you don't know how ACC has impacted in people's lives. And she's an international student, and she's a testimony to what ACC can do. So thank you guys. I just want to say that, take that out of my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that
Yes.
so much. Yes, so please help yourself to more snacks, drinks. Give Cindy another congratulations, all of that. Stick around as long as you'd like. I just wanted to share a last thing. So specifically with the data language research application, Casey had a few specific questions that she wanted asked in the phone screen to help kind of clarify it. I don't know if you remember this.
I do.
And one of them was, what's your favorite word and why? And what's your least favorite word and why? And I read that and I was like, okay, I don't know Casey very well. This seems like a Casey question. Let's just go roll with it. And people struggled with that answer in ways that I don't know if I really thought it would be that difficult. Cindy took a couple moments, took a beat, which you're very good at. And that was the other thing about your presentation I will say, is your calmness, whatever, really is clear. Like, you're someone who, I know you were nervous, you told me you were nervous, but you stayed calm. And some people's nervousness comes out and it's just like fast and I'm just gonna get through this, all that stuff. You took a beat, you thought about it, and do you remember what you said?
I
It's not
know
a test, it's okay if you.
my least favorite was fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my favorite was patience.
Yes. And why was patience your favorite word?
Because I've had to be patient. It's my strong suit now. I was never a patient person, but life just teaches you how to be patient.
Yeah.
And you know, life runs fast, so you have to catch up. And you just have to be patient all the time. So I'm just a patient person now. Back then, no. But it's one of my strong suits. I have the ability to just sit, and if I know that something is not meant for me, I'm willing to wait until whatever is mine is going to come to me. So yeah.
And I love that. And absolutely shown that and taken advantage of that. So
Thank
again,
you.
one last round of applause.